Hi folks, well we're here on a monumental day following the announcement not of the State of Origin team but of Bulldog Ritchie's greatest ever State of Origin team spanning 1980 to 2026. He's seen every game and I've got to say I'm a bit stunned by this.
What are you stunned about, Crash?
I'm stunned by the number 6 jersey. I mean, did you know that the Wally Lewis medal, have you heard of that?
I certainly have.
It goes to the best State of Origin player each series.
Well aware of it.
Well, didn't he wear the number 6 jersey? I would have thought that would have been an automatic choice, but tell us why.
It might have been an automatic choice, but if you give me a moment, I will tell you exactly why. I did the unthinkable up here in Queensland, where I've been walking around the last 48 hours wearing a Crash helmet, and people yelling and spitting at me and calling me you're a rotten, dirty dog because I moved the Messiah, King Wally, to number 13. And I did it for one reason, because I wanted to get Brett Kenny into the greatest side of all time, because he is the most naturally gifted player I have ever seen. And by moving Wally to 13, Crash, Brett Kenny to 6, that allowed me to pick a centre combination of Laurie Daly, who Phil Gould said is the greatest Origin player he's ever seen, and of course your man, Big Mal Meninga. Mal was a non-negotiable choice. So yes, I moved him. Yes, it's sacrilegious up here, but there's reasons behind it, and I think I've explained it fairly well.
Okay, well...
You don't seem too...
No. I mean, well...
Convinced.
Well, if someone's nicknamed the King and the award of the Man of the Series is named after him, I would say that's where you start. That's where you should start. That position's the non-negotiable.
Could Don Bradman have batted 5?
You wouldn't ask him to, no. He could have, yes.
There you go.
But you wouldn't ask him to.
Why not?
Because he's better at 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Going through the team, Billy Slater, yep. Andrew Eddingshausen on the wing. Mate, you've got to have more than a fishing show to get in this team. I'm sorry, I know he throws a good lure and all that, but you'd never heard of Dale Shearer?
Well, I have heard of Rowdy, and a very, very good Origin player. And let me stress, Crash, in these moments when you have to pick these sides, you get more enemies than you do friends. Look, ET played 27 games for New South Wales, Crash. That's equivalent of 9 series. A wonderful player, ET. Yes, he's a good-looking rooster. He's on television, a bit like you and I are now, but we don't quite have the physical features of E.T. But having said that, I think he was a worthy choice, a wonderful Origin player for many years, and was playing at his optimum, Crash, in a great era for New South Wales.
And then we get to Andrew Johns at number 7. I get it, the immortal, but... Mate, Thurston's record, what was it, 11 winning series? I mean, man, they couldn't get past him. He was the man they couldn't get past.
Yeah, it was that position that gave me a headache, actually, Crash. I had to have a Bex and a lie down just going through half-back. Look, ultimately, there's only one Andrew Johns, and I've gone with Joey, and it will cause, no doubt, some angst. Thurston played 37 Origin games and won 11 series. I mean, it's extraordinary. Alfie. You wrote a story in the Courier Mail today saying Alf should be the next immortal. Hard to argue, Crash. Cooper Cronk, another wonderful Queenslander who won how many series? 100 series. And what about the great Ricky Stewart, one of New South Wales' toughest and best halfbacks? So, look, there was multiple choices, but ultimately, when you have to pick a side like this, you've got to put your you-know-what's on the line and go with one. And in the end, as I said before, there's only one Andrew Johns. He's the greatest player this game's ever seen, in my opinion, and he's certainly the greatest player I've ever seen. I went with Joey.
Paul Sirenen at prop, debatable. Petro Sivanasiva, maybe. Second row. And
I want to point out one, if I can, Crash, and you've just got the side in front of you. Arthur Beetson. He only played one game.
Yep.
But it was the game that defined State of Origin. It was the game that defined Queensland going into State of Origin. And it kick-started the rivalry and the hatred, which is still here.
Yep.
46 years later, all because of Arthur Beetson. Yep. So it was a strange decision to have a bloke in there based on 80 minutes. But what he did in that 80 minutes, not even so much as a player, but as a role model for the game moving forward, I just felt a need to have him in there, along with Cam Smith. And my other front row was the great Glenn Lazarus, one of the greatest front rows the game's ever seen.
Yeah, and I noticed you got Noel Cleal on your bench. That's a bit of a surprise for me. I mean, I know he was frightening to look at, wasn't he? Remember those? They used to go out.
Ranger.
They'd go out after Origin. If you're in a bar and Noel was there, you'd be a bit cringe ready. But you got to have more than that to make this team, I reckon.
Yeah, no, he's a great player, big crusher. Again, in a golden era. Around the Steve Mortimer time. Remember when Turvey famously dropped to his knees at the SCG? That was in 1985. Crusher was part of that side. And 1986. The other second rower has caused a little bit of debate, Crash, is one of your men, Gordon Tallis. I love Gordy. I think the second row position is his with Ciro. It's a monstrous second rower. It's aggressive combination, and I just wanted Gordy there, albeit Gordy's record at Origin wasn't great in terms of victories, but his demeanour and his intimidation was unheralded.
No questions there. I'm having my say tomorrow, and I think it'll be a different slanted team, and I've got a bit of news for you. The King will be where he should be. But
At lock.
Yeah, at lock. There's no convincing him, but it's good to have you here, old mate, and I'll enjoy the game Wednesday night. And be careful about walking down Caxton Street after naming that team, particularly after the game. We never see you again.
I might be wearing a balaclava.